Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in my last video I talked a bit about the Web Summit conference I went to in Lisbon a couple of weeks ago, and what that was like and kind of what my takeaways from it were. But then the week after that I decided to take a week out to start work on another project, and that project is a book that I started drafting for a large American publisher called A-Press, who are part of the Springer Group. So I've never written a book for a large publisher before, so I thought I'd give it a try. So I negotiated the contract and went through all the the pitching process with them over the last sort of 3 or 4 months. Signed a book deal with them to produce a book, and last week was me officially starting that book. So the initial deadline is for the end of this year to produce the first 3 chapters. Now getting a project like that off the ground takes quite a lot of work, so to help give me the focus I decided to go away for basically what you can call a writing holiday. So I booked a small apartment in a nice coastal resort here in the UK called Whitby. It's up in North Yorkshire, just on the east coast. It's kind of one of my favourite places in the UK just because of the charm of the village that it's in. So you'll see some little snippets of it in the videos that I'll put on this video. And the whole idea of this weekend, or this week, was for me to lock myself away, well, both in the apartment and in coffee shops and around town, and just focus on writing these 3 chapters. And then we kind of timed it appropriately because my children were on an inset day on the Friday, so my wife picked them up from school on the Thursday and then she drove them up to Whitby, and then we spent a nice long weekend there. So it kind of served 2 purposes. It was a writing holiday for the first 4 days, and then we had a nice long family weekend, so it was really nice. But the upshot is I got the 3 chapters written. It's always difficult starting a project like that off because it feels like you've got a huge mountain to climb. You have to try and kind of break it all down. So I was fairly well prepared before I went. I wasn't starting completely from scratch. I've done all my research, all the source code I need to write for the book has already been written. The chapter plan has already been done, so I know exactly what's going to be in each chapter. I've done all the research. So really what I was doing is I've taken all the research that I've done and effectively just turning it into words. So that's gone really well. I'm hoping to deliver probably about 1 chapter every 3 weeks, I think is the cadence I'm going to try and keep to. Because the deadline is kind of sort of later next year, but I want to finish it as soon as possible. And I think it's going to be interesting because, as you know from previous videos that I've published, I've started a small Kindle publishing business. So my first book was called A Gentle Guide to Agile Software Development. That was out about a month ago, and that's been doing really well. Really happy with the reception to that book. I've got a second book which is almost about to be released, so I'll be updating on that soon. And I've got a third book which I'm hoping to have released by Christmas. And don't forget, these guides that I'm releasing on Kindle, they're very short guides, so they're around anywhere between 15 and 20,000 words. So these ones don't take me that long to write. I plan everything out like I've done with the chapters for A-Press. Everything's all planned out beforehand. So the actual writing process is quite quick. And I tend to do that in bursts, generally in a coffee shop in my hometown of Belper is where I write most of these guides, just because I'm amazingly productive there. But the idea is I'm going to try and release a fair few of these books. I've got quite a lot of stuff up in my head that I want to get out, so I'm going to try and release these books fairly frequently. But I think it's going to be interesting to compare how I can achieve success through my own self-publishing business versus what it's going to be like with a traditional publisher. Now, I've never worked with a traditional publisher like this before, apart from companies like Pluralsight, but that's video content production, so it's different. So it's going to be interesting to kind of compare the two, because I have absolutely no idea what the gains or what the financial gains from writing this book are going to be for A-Press. Hopefully, I'll make something from it. But really, I think the main benefit is that it's going to be more around expert placement in one of my sort of chosen fields of expertise, and that will help me with training gigs and speaking gigs. So there's kind of other benefits which I'm hoping to get from it, but what the financial ones are, I don't really know, apart from what the advances that you get when you've delivered the book. I don't really know kind of what it's going to be like after that, so it's going to be quite interesting, so I'll keep you all up to date on that. So that's it for this video, just a short update just to let you know what I've been doing, and I'll be back soon. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button down the bottom there, and if you want to be notified about future videos, hit the little bell icon next to it. So I'll see you soon.